another 5-10 years that we can talk about being in the top 10. But right now, the fourth best point guard in the NBA is really starting to make me wanting to figure out where ESPN is going to list some of these shooting guards, like the small forwards. Because if Stephen Curry is number 4 right now when it comes to point guards, where does James Harden fall in the shooting guards category?
Kevin Durant and small forwards.
I mean, are they going to have Kevin Durant listed higher than LeBron James?
Anthony Davis is top 5 then.
I mean, Mark, are we going to count,
It's getting outrageous.
Yeah, it's getting outrageous. And for me, I mean, there's so many other point guards that you can consider. I can see if Stephen Curry, if they said in the future Stephen Curry can get in this list, but they have Russell Westbrook behind Stephen Curry. Is it because of the MVP and the championship? Because if you look at pure raw numbers, we can go number for number between the two players and compare them. I'm sorry, Russell Westbrook, by numbers, especially in the all-around categories, it looks like Russell Westbrook kind of blows away, Stephen Curry in a lot of the categories with the exception of shooting. Westbrook's career numbers, 21.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, 7.5, almost 7.5 assists a game, 1.7 steals. His three-point shooting is not the same, but Westbrook's numbers are very much more comparable. I mean, is he is that better than Stephen Curry? Yeah. I mean, is Chris Paul better than Stephen Curry? Yeah. Guys, okay, ESPN comes up with these crazy lists all the time. Now, how much should we validate more of this conversation when it comes to these ESPN lists? Because if it's blasphemy, I guess I actually want to see what the other positions are. And
we shouldn't validate the list at all. And I'll give you one good reason why. Remember when we were talking before the season started, the top 100 players in the league, and Kobe Bryant was like, 98 or something like that, right? And they said Tristan Thompson was better.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you take today? Kobe broken down Kobe, old Kobe, or Tristan Thompson? I'm taking old Kobe.
I mean, it's kind of hard to go against Kobe on that one. I mean, yeah, it's still Kobe. I mean, I'm not taking Tristan Thompson over Kobe Bryant any day of the week.
I'm not taking Tristan Thompson over maybe anybody on the Sixers. That's how he's terrible.
I mean, I'm not sure about anybody on the Sixers, Mark. I mean, you're giving a lot of credit to Ish Smith on that one. That's kind of a.
But what I'm saying is that that's how absurd their lists always are. They always do something that's crazy, right? It's almost like Skip Bayless made the list up by himself. It wasn't no panel or nothing like that, right? I don't know what they do at ESPN. What kind of network is it? What's ESPN stand for? Sports something network. They should take sports out of it and put EPPN, parody something network. Seriously, stop.
Well, it brings up another topic. Like I said, we're talking about these different positions. For me, out of the remaining 4 positions, what is the one position that's going to be more hotly contested now? Is it, in your opinion, Paul, what are the 4 positions left? They've already done point guards. Which one is going to have the biggest debate for number 1 or of the numbers in the rankings?
I mean, you got a lot of LeBron haters, so it's probably going to be small forward between LeBron and Bird, Baylor. I mean, there's some good small forwards out there, so you're going to have a debate there. There's no debate at shooting guard. I don't think there should be a debate at power forward. If Tim Duncan's not at the top of your list, I don't think you really know basketball. Sorry. Also, center, I think there's going to be a debate as well. So you got small forward and center. Center, I mean, you got guys like Hakeem, you got Wilt, Bill Russell. There's a pretty good list of centers as well. So I'd say centers is probably the most deep one that you're going to have trouble putting 10 together.
Exactly. We got a caller online. Antoine's calling in. I want to talk about the point guards. Antoine, how's it going tonight, sir?
Doing good. How about you?
We're doing great. So do you want to talk about the point guards? So what is your thoughts on the point guard list?
Were you naming like a top 5?
Yeah. Let's bring him to speed because he may have been calling in while we were talking about it. So what we're talking about, ESPN has a top 10 list of point guards right now.
All time
now. This isn't last 5 years. They currently have Steph Curry as number 4 all time. Do you agree with that?
So who's in front of him?
Magic Johnson, Big O, Oscar Robertson,
John Stockton.
and John Stockton. Because you got guys behind him like Isaiah Thomas,
Chris
Paul, Steve Nash. So, what are you thinking here? Do you think that he is?
Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, you think he's number 4 on that list?
ESPN might be a little generous at this point. I think they're kind of leaning more on the Steph wave that's going on right now to give him that spot. I think that's a little generous. I don't think he's above Isaiah and guys. You still got like you said Stockton, right, is in front of him.
Stockton's in front of him. You got Jason Kidd, Chris Paul,
correct.
Steve Nash. So guys like that.
Right. I think, like I said, I think they're just riding the wave. Steph Curry has a huge buzz right now, and I think that's a little generous. So I would say I absolutely disagree. He still has a lot more to prove to be placed in that number 4 spot. I think he has a little more things to accomplish along the lines of you say your Isaiahs and things of that nature in order to be placed at number 4. So I think they're being a little generous.
Would you even have him in your top 10 right now?
I wouldn't even consider him a top 10 at this point. And as you guys may well know, I mean, he's my favorite player. Is definitely my favorite player to watch, as probably as many. But I wouldn't put him in top 10 just yet. I think ESPN has been a little generous. However, he is exciting and things MVP caliber year again and all of that. But no, he wouldn't be a top 10 point guard of all time at this point, in my opinion.
Exactly. Thanks, Antoine, for calling in. You could do the same thing Antoine's doing, getting this conversation. 407-916-8255 or toll free 800-729-8255. Now, Paul mentioned. Actually, you know what? Paul did mention about the power forwards. We're going to get into the centers and power forwards and small forwards in the debate, because I don't think shooting guard is a debate who's number 1.
We also got to get Mark to talk about college as well, so we'll probably do that right when we get back from the break.
Yes, and we got Marc Johnson's famous college basketball segment with the games of the week as well, too. So we're going to take a quick break here on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC and the new 96.9 The Game, Orlando Sports Leader. We'll be right back. Let's go pay some bills.
Here's what's happening at FM 96.9 The Game. FM 96.9 The Game welcomes Monster Jam, returning to the Citrus Bowl on Saturday, January 23rd. Get tickets and all the info at 969thegame.com, keyword concert. Join the Shot Doctor and Brandon Krabs broadcasting live this Saturday starting at 1 p.m. at Teak Neighborhood Grill on Times Square Avenue. Come out and catch the playoffs and enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light and grab some free game gear while it lasts. Get more info at 969thegame.com.
Now, I know you've heard of this up-and-coming brand, Hoop Culture, but here's something you didn't know. They have just opened their first store in Fashion Square Mall, downstairs, right in front of the movie theater. That's right, the brand that brought you the iconic Eat, Sleep, Ball design is bringing their streetwear brand to retail. Visit the store at Fashion Square Mall right here in Orlando, or visit them online at hoopculture.com, or follow them at Hoop Culture. Our listeners save 30% off your next order. Use the code RADIO at checkout.
The Open Mic with Mike Bianchi.
Let's welcome in the great Tony Baselli. What about the whole rules thing? I mean, did he really have you have to be there 5 minutes early, set the clocks back and all that?
I mean, there was not. It was Coughlin time. He set. I mean, he controlled the universe. In the universe of the Jacksonville Jaguars, he controlled it. He was boss, chief. He set the time. I'll never forget. We were on the field one day, and lightning was coming. Typical afternoon in Florida, and it was raining and lightning, and guys are looking around, and his comment was, "Don't you worry about the weather. I'll take care of the weather." Like, somehow, that was the mentality around the entire place. I mean, he was the man.
Mike Bianchi, weekday mornings at 6 on FM 96.9 The Game. Somebody has to wake up that early.
Welcome to Late Night Parents. I'm your host, Ted Hicks. We have a weekly podcast where we sit down and talk with game changers in the sports, technology, education fields. We even do product reviews and giveaways. Why, you ask? Because we're all parents. So if you're ready for an up-close and personal look, then you can check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. Catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's Late Night Parents. The site is latenightparents.com.
Hi, you've reached Burger King. To leave a message, press 1.
Hey, Burger King, it's Mike calling again. I called a billion times about the burgers and the chicken and the flame grilling. My big idea. Call me back. I'm here at home.
Michael, didn't we talk about you trying the new flame grilled chicken burger from Burger King? A savory flame grilled chicken patty topped with veggies on a toasted bun. Now just 2 for $5. Or mix and match with another delicious sandwich, part of the 2 for $5 deal. The new flame grilled chicken burger, only at Burger King. Limited time only. Price and participation vary.
Are you looking for a fun experience on the water with your family? Bring them to the Orlando Water Sports Complex, located off Highway 528 near OIA. The Orlando Water Sports Complex provides an experience you won't soon forget, featuring cable wakeboarding, as well as the Super Air Nautique G23, the world's best wakeboarding and wake surfing boat for guests to enjoy. For more info, visit actionparks.com. That's AKTIONPARKS.com. And tell them Full Court Press sent you.
We're all born with the blues, whether we want to admit it or not. Though you'll truly experience the blues from a different yet very unique perspective when you visit Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues. At Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues, you'll experience some amazing sounds from aspiring, talented musicians in the blues genre. Be sure to download Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues Android app from Google Play Store and get wired to the Rattled Beach Show on Friday nights. Blues on. YippieKiYayBlues.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is my profound pleasure to introduce...
Broadcasting high above Orlando on AM 740 and iHeartRadio. This is Orlando's sports leader, FM 96.9, The Game.
We are back for the final segment here of NBA Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC on the new 96.9 The Game, Orlando sports leader. Call in number 407-916-8255 or toll free 800-729-8255. Danny Thompson, Marc Johnson, Paul Myers, and our main man, Big Chris, in the studio, checking in with you tonight. But we were talking about point guards and also the top 10 list, and we also have a caller online who has his visions and opinions on this as well, too. Richard, thanks for calling in tonight. Where are you calling from, and what's on your mind?
Hey guys, calling from Lake Mary. First time heard the show. I really like the approach to the show. So it looks like it's gonna be some fun. I can't wait to. I'm an AM junkie, and it's good to hear the show exists. So when I'm up this time of night, it'd be great to hear it. Listen, so what do you do with Steph Curry? Same thing. What do you do with Todd Gurley to a lesser case? And I'm looking forward to your opinion. What do you do with, let's say you were dealing in the 70s and Mark Fidrich in baseball, or even Dwight Gooden in the 80s, when people like Bob Gibson and others were saying, I'd give up my past for his future. So you've got that 1.5 year spot where he could be number one, or he could be gone next week with the knee that's blown out. So the interesting part, and getting your guys' take on this list, is yes, and at the end of a career, and I was talking to your screener, probably one of you guys, if Kobe's done, you know what Kobe is. Mm-hmm. You know where we are with players like that. But what do you do with someone who shows so much promise? You can't put him number one. You can't put him number 20, but has he done more than the top 10? Certainly not. So ESPN shouldn't put him at 4. But, golfers, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, are they the top 5 golfers of all time? Certainly not. Could they be? Certainly yes. So my fun about, remember the old NBA top 50 list that came out? It was a number of years ago. We all played with that. That was a fun thing. It was fantastic. So that's my only take, is getting you guys to discuss what do you do. So not that Steph Curry does or doesn't deserve to be number 4, because he certainly hasn't been. But how do you make a list like this? Do you almost exclude those guys and say, here are the top 10 point guards of all time that we know the body of their work?
Exactly.
And what do you do? So go for that.